Good evening and welcome to our last edition of UCTV News of the fall semester. I'm Kristina Carretero.
And I'm Mike Cocchiola. Former U.S. President George H.W. Bush died this past weekend at the age of 94. Bush's funeral is set for tomorrow in the Washington National Cathedral. His coffin is currently in the U.S. Capitol building, where people have been going to pay their respects all day. The 41st President of the United States will be laid to rest in Texas on Thursday.
The UConn marching band director is on paid administrative leave. According to UConn's Daily Campus, Dr. David Mills was put on leave Friday, November 16th. There is currently an open investigation by the Office of Institutional Equity. There is no word on if or when Mills will return to campus. Mills has been employed at UConn since 1990.
12 million pounds of raw beef has been recalled due to a salmonella outbreak. The raw beef recall from October has been extended after more than 12 million pounds of raw beef has potentially been contaminated with salmonella. Around 250 people have gotten sick. The beef contamination started at JBS Tolleson Incorporated in Tolleson, Arizona, and the products have been shipped and sold throughout the nation. Although the beef was packaged in late July and early September, officials are worried that people may still have some of these beef products in their freezers. The USDA encourages everyone to check for beef packaging between the dates of July 26th and September 7th and dispose of it immediately.
UConn has made its mark on the map, but on Wednesday it will make itself known in a new domain, space. UConn researchers devised a startup called Lambda Vision, which will be launched into space. The goal of Lambda Vision is to manufacture films that could cure blindness, benefiting life here on Earth. According to UConn Today, Lambda Vision's retinal implant is similar to a contact lens that is surgically placed in the back of the eye to convert light to energy. Lambda Vision Incorporated was based on research conducted by Professor Robert Burge of UConn's chemistry department.
The holiday lights are back on Fairfield Way and other areas around campus, but they're missing in one popular location this year, the swing tree at Mirror Lake. In her welcome back email at the beginning of the semester, UConn President Susan Herbst announced that the well-known swing tree was sick and UConn arborists would be treating it. The Daily Campus reports that, as of right now, it is too soon to tell if the treatments are working, and I spoke to university spokeswoman Stephanie Reitz, who said the tree is too delicate to have lights this year. She said that even though the lights themselves are light, the machinery needed to hang the lights would compact the soil, and this would not be good for the tree.
The stock market tumbled almost 800 points on Tuesday over fears of economic slowdown amid U.S.-China trade uncertainty. NBC Connecticut reports the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 3.06%, posting its worst day since mid-October. Two major exporters of Boeing and Caterpillar carried the Dow decline, both who are directly impacted by current trade tensions. The Nasdaq Composite and S&P 500, except the utilities sector, also fell into correction territory. President Trump threatened to impose tariffs on Chinese goods if a broader trade deal is not reached over the next 3 months.
UCTV news reporter Lindsay Kane was at the Ballard Museum of Puppetry and tells us about some unique puppets that are larger than life.
When you commonly think of puppets, you think of something that pretty much looks like this. But what you don't think of are puppets that are larger than life. Puppet sculptor Anne Cubberly creates giant puppets and is participating in the Ballard Museum of Puppetry's Fall Puppet Series Forum to talk about her newest creations and inspirations, all while recognizing the different techniques used by artists.
One of the interesting things for us about puppet theater is that it's all over the world, and there's so many different traditions and so many different techniques, and it's so fascinating how puppets work in different contexts and different cultures.
Anne Cubberly has been making these giant puppets for over 25 years now and looks forward to her events each year where she can share her work with the community.
I would say as an artist that kinetic sculpture on that scale is the scale is most comfortable for me in my body. It's what makes sense. And I love the idea that there's these giants walking around. It makes the world sort of a little bit more fantastic.
In addition to finding artists to speak at the Ballard Museum, workers are also busy trying to get a broader audience and are always looking for more community involvement to share puppet traditions and customs.
I don't know, I think we're always trying to figure out how to attract more people. Puppetry is kind of funny because people, I think, oftentimes assume it's this odd form and maybe it has to do with Sesame Street and I don't know what it is. But from our perspective, puppets and performing objects are kind of all around and are part of our lives in different ways.
Over the past 50 years, UConn's puppet program has played a major part in shaping the nature of the American and international puppet program. For UCTV, this is Lindsay Kane.
The UConn Horticulture Club is selling poinsettias just in time for holiday season. The Horticulture Club president, Justin Ferreira, says they are selling 4 different colors and 3 different sizes. He says even though people usually buy poinsettias for holiday seasons, they can usually last up to a year. They are available at UConn Floriculture Building from December 3rd to December 14th.
A car crashed into a building Tuesday afternoon in New Haven. NBC Connecticut reports that the car slammed through the front of a Piccadilly Tailor on Amity Road. The story is still developing, but NBC reported that fire officials said no one person was hurt, though the extent of the injuries is unclear.
Blood was found in a Costa Rican villa where a Florida woman went missing. Carla Stefaniak went missing over a week ago after traveling to Costa Rica for vacation, where she stayed in an Airbnb celebrating her 36th birthday with her sister-in-law. The Associated Press reports that the case is currently under investigation and officials have sealed off the apartment to protect any evidence.
Haircuts in a dorm room? A sophomore at NextGen started his own dorm room barbershop where UConn students can get their hair cut however they'd like by one of their very own peers. Here's Leanne Zana with the story.
Let's cut to the chase. Getting a haircut as a college student can be inconvenient, especially if you don't have transportation or the time in your schedule. But now UConn students can get their haircut on campus, and even some can get it in the comfort of their own dorm. A studious accounting major and honor student, UConn sophomore Efrain Gonzalez has a lot on his plate, but that hasn't stopped him from pursuing a much-needed service for campus students: haircutting.
Yeah, it's been really inconvenient trying to find a place that can give a good haircut. And, you know, I'm a busy guy. I work, I go to school, you know, so I gotta figure out a good time to get a haircut where it's convenient. And this place is convenient. I'd like to tame the sides a little bit and then reduce the amount of hair up top.
Gonzalez says that his service is different from other dorm room hair salons because he wants students to get the full barbershop experience.
Initially, last semester, I had mostly all the materials I think I would need to cut hair because I'm the type of person that goes all in. So if I buy a certain amount of materials, I'm just like, you know what, I need to buy more because I want everyone to have the actual barbershop experience when they come here.
The NextGen Barbershop is located in the Peter J. Worth building, and students can make special requests for how they want their hair cut and styled.
I'm very satisfied with my haircut. You know, styling, you know, it's very nice. I definitely think I'll be back here for my next haircut.
No matter what kind of hair you have, be sure to get a fresh cut from one of your fellow Huskies. I'm Leanne Zana for UCTV News.
Records were broken on Monday as SpaceX's Falcon 9 spacecraft was reused for its 3rd consecutive flight. The rocket was launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, where it carried 64 satellites into orbit before re-landing again on Earth. This marks the 3rd time Elon Musk's startup has achieved this feat and makes his company a pioneer in the commercial space industry. SpaceX now holds the record for most launches with a single rocket and sits only behind India in most satellites carried in a single launch.
After an almost 2-year-long journey in space, the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft reached its destination, the asteroid Bennu. Launched as part of NASA's New Horizons program, the probe will conduct research on the asteroid over the next 3 years before returning to Earth with a sample in 2023. If successful, this will mark the first time NASA has brought asteroid material back to Earth and will contribute greatly to knowledge on asteroids.
Up next, you will hear from UCTV reporter Kristina Carretero, who spoke with UConn's boxing team after their bouts in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania.
The University of Connecticut's boxing team traveled to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, where 5 Huskies competed against schools such as UMass, the Army, and Navy.
Alan Kahn secured the first UConn victory of the night with a first-round knockout. The rest of the Huskies faced tough losses, but are here in UConn's Hawley Armory building preparing for their next bouts.
How did you feel right after you got your first-round knockout?
So I wasn't sure because it wasn't really, I feel like we could have kept going, but the refs stopped it. It didn't feel real.
UConn's boxing coach Michael Campisano has transitioned the small club into a competitive team. The team has grown to include over 70 members who both fight competitively and is also open to students interested in learning the sport and getting into shape.
To me, a one-on-one sports such as boxing or wrestling, it's 95% mental. It really is. And if you don't have, that positive outlook or that knowing that I'm just not going to accept losing, you're never going to win. It's a test of your character. It's a test of your will. If you're going to give up on something like this, you're going to give up on things in life. Anybody who has a desire to overcome anxiety, overcome any issues with self-confidence, anybody who wants to compete, it's really open for anybody.
Reporting for UCTV Sports, I'm Kristina Carretero.
You're gonna be what you mean. Hey, say what you wanna do with your life. Say.
I'm here outside of UConn's Dairy Bar for the annual Senior Scoop event. UConn's Dairy Bar hosted the 8th annual Senior Scoop Contest, where UConn seniors got to vote for a new Dairy Bar ice cream flavor. Every year at the beginning of the semester, seniors submit ideas for unique ice cream flavor to represent their class. Select UConn seniors from different organizations are chosen as judges to narrow down the list of public submissions to around 3 to 5 top flavors, which UConn seniors get to vote on. This year, there are 5 flavors, ranging from chocolate ice cream with Oreos to vanilla ice cream with chocolate-covered pretzels.
I got the vanilla flavor with chocolate-covered pretzels and the peanut butter swirl.
So I voted for the one that was, I believe, vanilla ice cream with chocolate-covered pretzels and a peanut butter caramel swirl.
On Friday afternoon, seniors packed the Dairy Bar to cast their vote for this year's flavor. Even Jonathan the Husky made an appearance to get some free vanilla ice cream. Once a flavor is selected, it will be debuted at UConn's One-Ton Sunday event at the beginning of spring semester. A second contest will also be held to choose a name for the flavor.
So after we decide on one flavor in the fall and the spring, all the seniors get to submit different names and get creative. It is funny. Last year was Trotter Oats, but there's a lot of different puns.
The UConn Senior Scoop Contest was started by President Herbst for the class of 2012 and has been a tradition hosted by the Dairy Bar ever since.
It's a really great event. I'm really happy to be involved with it every year. Every year it goes over really well. It's very popular with the seniors. The seniors are always really proud to sample it and be like, oh, that's our class flavor.
I think it's kind of cool how we could choose, like us seniors could vote on which flavor we want.
I like that it's a tradition, and I think it's nice that it's something that all seniors and students in general can participate in and get involved in.
And it's an excuse to get ice cream.
Yeah, it's always great.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
Reporting for UCTV News, Khalil Rahman.
That's a wrap for this semester. Be sure to follow at UCTV Channel 14 on social media for all the latest updates on UConn and beyond.
Have a happy and a safe break. We'll see you next semester here at UCTV News. Good night, Huskies.